And go ahead and start the recording.
Okay, we are recording this and at 10:04 a.m. on August 31st, 2020. This is a special Arizona Racing Commission meeting, and it is being held by Google Meets. Would you like me to do the roll, sir?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Commissioner Coolidge?
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Garay?
Present.
Commissioner Hover?
Present.
Thank you. And Commissioner Profiter, I understand, is unable to attend the meeting, but we have a quorum. So, sir, I'm handing this back over to you.
All right. At this point in time, I'm calling today's meeting a special meeting of the Arizona Racing Commission. Today is Monday, August 31st, 2020. The time is 10:05. We do have a quorum, so I'm calling this meeting to order. Meeting is called to order. The first item we have on the agenda, actually first I want to just remind everyone, if you're not speaking, please put your phone on mute or your computer on mute. And when somebody is speaking, please do not interrupt those who may be speaking. And if you do want to speak during a call to the public, please do address the chair. Requesting permission, do not be stepping over each other. If I have to, I will shut all the mics down so we can regain control of the meeting. So again, I'm just asking everyone to please be respectful. There's a lot of people here listening, a lot of people that want to hear what's going on, so we just need to be respectful. Okay, with that, we'll move on to Item B, action items, review, discussion, and possible action on. The only one is Kentucky Derby signal. And just for clarification on my part, I know the last meeting we conditionally approved, it was, I think, Churchill Downs and Remington for both Arizona Downs and, not Phoenix Greyhound Park, Turf Paradise. And I see that we only have Kentucky Derby signal on here, so I just wanted to verify that Remington Park was resolved for both tracks. Greg?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you very much. At this time, the April 20th letter that was sent by the Arizona HBPA regarding the Turf Paradise signal does not include a Remington Park agreement as far as their approval of the incoming signal. So on the Turf Paradise for Remington Park, I do not have that approval from the HBPA. Regarding Arizona Downs, and Remington Park on August 7th, 2020, I received a letter from the Arizona HBPA approving the Remington Park signal for Arizona Downs.
Okay. So for today, we just need to get some resolution on the Kentucky Derby signal for Turf Paradise.
This is Jerry Sims with a question.
Yes, Mr. Sims.
Can they, if one gets it, we have to all get it. And if we're not going to get it, then Arizona Downs can't get the signal.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sims. All right, so we're still talking the Kentucky Derby signal. Is there any discussion amongst the commissioners regarding this, or I would like to go into executive session if possible for a little.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Garay, this is Leroy Gussman. Could I speak first?
We have a motion and a second on the floor right now, so I think we would either need to table that or move forward with roll call and go into executive session. I'm sorry. Madam Secretary, could you please call roll for going into executive session?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Coolidge?
Yes.
Commissioner Garay?
Yes.
Commissioner Hover?
Yes.
Thank you. We have that carries to go into executive session. The time is 10:09 a.m. and we are going to recess for the executive session. I'm going to leave this one open. Commissioners, please exit out of this meeting completely and then go into the executive session. If you have any difficulties, please contact me on my cell. Thank you. Thank you. The recording device is on. It is now 10:23 a.m. This is the second open session of the special Arizona Racing Commission meeting taking place on August 31st, 2020 via Google Meets. And I'm Cassie Goodwin, Commission Secretary. I will go ahead and take a roll call and hand this over to Chair Garay. Commissioner Coolidge.
He said here.
I see his picture on there, but I think we need to have his voice through the recording.
Oh, I heard. Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Garay?
Here.
Commissioner Hover?
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum, so we're back in business. Go ahead, sir.
All right, calling the meeting back to order. I just see a pop-up that Dave Johnson says he's having issues. I'm hearing things, so hopefully IT can maybe work on that or see what's going on. All right, just for my fellow commissioners, I do have 4 people signed up for a call to the public regarding this item, so I didn't know if you would like to hear from them first or just get into our discussion.
I would like to hear from them if we could.
Okay. All right. First one on the agenda for speaking would be Mr. Mayor. Vince, are you here? Vince Francia?
Sir, I think you may have an old one. The list I sent had Mr. Sims, Mr. Guessman, and Dave Author to speak.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I think we have the HPPA that has to speak as well before we went into executive session.
Right, that would have been Guessman. All right, and so we will start with Mr. Sims.
Yes, you can speak.
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes. Is Mr. Sims here?
Commissioner, I can't hear anything you're saying.
And we have was looking for Mr. Sims. Is Jerry here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Mr. Sims, you have 2 minutes.
I would like to, I didn't sign up for this, I don't believe.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I'm getting no audio from you.
Excuse me, Mr. Francia, if you're having some issues with it, we can hear on our end. What I suggest you do is exit out and then rejoin the meeting and see if that resolves your audio.
This is Jerry. Should I go ahead and speak?
Yes, you have 2 minutes, sir.
On the Derby, I think if for any reason we didn't, we would be disappointing a lot of people. I don't know who is against us having the Derby. I know there was an issue that the HPPA brought up about was this a new date that they had to approve? Because they've approved it. The running of the Derby in our settlement agreement. It clearly says that they have approved running of the Kentucky Derby. The fact that they're saying we have to resubmit it to them, I think that Greg Stiles checked with Churchill, and this is not a new date. It was just a continuation, and I don't believe there's any reason to get another approval. I'd like to speak for a minute about the other track, Remington. It could be we didn't ask for it in that settlement that we did, but if we ask for the approval and make that request, is the HPPA willing to give it to us? I think if not, they have a contract issue, and there'll be a lot of damages if we can't have Remington. Needless to say about the Derby, but perhaps you could approve Remington if the horsemen say that the only issue is.
Mr. Sims, Remington is not on today's agenda, so if we could just stay focused on the Kentucky Derby.
Okay. Anyway, that's my comment about the Derby. It's been approved. It's in the contract. It's in the settlement agreement. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sims. Next one up would be Dave Arthur. Are you there? Yes, I see him. But Dave, can you hear us? I am not hearing you, Dave.
Dave, I'm sorry, sir. There's an option of hitting *6 on your phone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, Mr. Arthur. You have 2 minutes.
I'm uncoordinated with this device. I presented to you folks by letter on August 17th the approval letter from the HBPA for both Churchill Downs and Remington Park. And I don't believe there's any contest over that. So with the approval of the HBPA, we now have the Interstate Horse Racing Act approval from Churchill and from the Kentucky Commission, and now we have the approval of the Arizona Horsemen. So we ask that we move from a conditional approval to an unconditional approval. And may I also say that to the extent the horsemen are having a dispute with Turf Paradise, that has nothing to do with Arizona Downs. And with respect to the statute that sometimes we argue over, so long as Churchill Downs has offered the meet to both Arizona Downs and to Turf Paradise, then there's no question about whether that the statute has been complied with. So I would contest Mr. Sims' previous comment that if he doesn't get the meet, that Arizona Downs doesn't get the meet. There's no basis for that statement, and we take no position as to whether Turf Paradise and the horsemen can work out their differences. But if they cannot, Arizona Downs is entitled to have the Kentucky Derby because there has been full compliance with the statute, and we've also presented you on August 17th with the approval letter from HBPA. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Arthur. All right, the next one up would be Leroy. Are you there? Guessman?
Yeah.
Mr. Guessman, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioners, Leroy Guessman of the HBPA. I just want to say that as far as the Derby signal goes, it was our understanding that the Kentucky Racing Commission requested new approvals because of the date change. We are willing to give approvals for the Kentucky Derby and at the new date, just that nobody's sent us and asked for the approval other than Arizona Downs. If Turf would ask for the approval, we would grant the approval because we want everybody to have the Derby. We feel the horse players in Phoenix have suffered enough with the Monarch issue and Scott Cerruti's annex that we don't want the horse players not to have the Derby. And again, as far as Remington goes, all Turf Paradise would have to do would be request in writing that they want to carry the signal, and we would grant it. We don't want to not allow anybody not to have that signal.
But if people don't ask us for it, we're not going to just hand out blanket approvals. Any questions? Otherwise, that's all I have to say.
All right.
I have a question, Commissioner.
Yes, Mr. Francia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is my understanding correct from Mr. Gessman that if TURF were to send a request for, even while I am speaking, for again the Kentucky Derby, which is in 5 days, that request would be approved by the HPPA? Is that the testimony before the Commission?
Yes, that's what I'm understanding.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Chairman.
Are you sending a request right now?
That's a big smile you have. I don't know how I can turn that down, Mr. Chairman.
Do we need a few minutes for a request to be sent over to Leroy, signed, and then sent back to the department?
I can do it. I'll have Mr. Johnson, David Johnson, do it right now. Send it directly to the request to the Commission and to Mr. Gessman. And according to Mr. Gessman's testimony, it will be so approved once he receives the request.
Okay.
Can
we take a 15-minute break then and wait for this to get done?
That would be plenty of time. 15 minutes is plenty of time, Mr. Chair.
I'm not able to get that returned around that quickly. I'm giving you my word that the HPPA will sign it. I just can't do it in 15 minutes.
Okay. So since you'll be getting it and sending it over to the department, I would then move to conditionally approve this till providing this approval comes in. And once it's in,
the approval will
Commissioner Garay?
Today.
Yes.
This is Kel Wagner. You, as the Commission, has conditioned on the approval of the HBPA, so it would not necessarily need another motion to approve it.
Okay. So it's on its way, so we can probably then adjourn from today?
It's being prepared right now, Mr. Chairman, so it's on its way.
I would certainly go through the rest of the agenda. If there's further issues that anybody wants to address and call to the public, if there's nothing further that needs to be addressed with the action items, you can certainly move on.
Okay. Well, the next item is a call to the public, and we've gone through the list that I have. I don't know if anyone else has signed up, wanted to speak today.
May I, as Commission Secretary, state that I have not received any other requests, either by phone or email or text today requesting to speak. So if anybody else is on the line, then it's up to you to get that information.
Okay. Is there anybody on the line? Ted? Yes.
Mr. Chairman, Director Vogt, may I be heard?
Yes.
I just want to remind everybody that since the Derby is coming up, this Saturday, it's likely going to be the largest betting day that we experience and certainly have experienced in a long time. So we're going to be sending out a letter this week to OTB operators, but it is critical that OTB operators enforce social distancing during every day, but certainly during the Kentucky Derby when we're expecting a lot of increase. As has been put out there in the press, there are going to be health officials as well as Department of Liquor license folks out there checking to make sure that establishments are complying with the social distancing guidance that the Department of Health has put out there. So I just want to let folks know that it's very critical this Saturday that they follow the guidance that's been put out by the governor's office on social distancing.
All right. Thank you. Some good information there. Yeah, we don't want Arizona to start going back up in our numbers again. We're starting to really look good.
Correct. Thank you.
Is there anyone else on the call with us today that to speak? Hearing none, the next item is D, announcements. The next regular scheduled commission meeting will be at 10 a.m., probably right here in this same electronic meeting room, Thursday, September 10th, 2020. And let's see. The next item is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn today's meeting.
I will second that. Madam Secretary?
Thank you. Commissioner Coolidge?
Yes.
Commissioner Garay?
Yes.
Commissioner Hover?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion has been made to adjourn. It's been seconded and carries. It's 10:38 a.m. and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Stay safe, everyone.